Hello everybody and welcome to the Ready or Not secondary weapon overview. This is following up on the series we've been doing with the weapons and gear overview of Ready or Not. Today we're going to be doing the secondary weapons. So the secondary weapons, as you would guess, consist of, mostly semi-automatic pistols and revolvers, as well as a taser. We won't be going over the tasers. We'll save that, again, as I've said in other videos, for the non-lethal video when that comes later. We'll include it in that, but just know it is a secondary, but we're not going to be covering it today. We're going to be going top to bottom from the list, covering every other weapon though, and hopefully gives you a good feel for the weapon and what it is, some applications when they use it, everything like that, and see it in some action here. And of course, this is just factory weapons. There's no attachments or CNs or anything on these. This is just the base weapon. Okay, so let's start with the Glock 19, or the G19, but it's Glock chambered in 9x19. The Glock 19 or G19 has found worldwide acclaim with both private and public security agencies. Obviously, a very popular gun in the real world and pretty popular in this game. I don't have like numbers on who uses what weapons in the secondaries, but I'd assume, especially since I think it might be the default one you get right out of the gate when you started playing, I assume it's a very popular choice. So let's take this for a spin here. You can see it in my hands. This is what it looks like, a little aim down. Obviously, we'll show this once we get over to the range. These only have one fire mode. I can't actually change it because it's just semi-automatic and safe. So there's not like burst fire or anything. You can fire the weapon fairly quickly, especially this weapon, the Glock, but it does not have more than one fire or select fire. These are the iron sights, which are pretty realistic to what actual Glock, iron sights actually look like, and fairly realistic weapon. I just know because I've used Glocks. I actually like them in real life, so it's kind of cool to use, guns you've used in real life in the game. As far as recoil goes, I'll just show you not controlling it at all, and then, obviously trying to control it a little. This is not at all. So obviously it's got a little, oomph to it, but the kick isn't that bad. You can put a lot of rounds at somebody without, going way off target and not being able to control it. And if you do try to control it, even just rapid firing, you're generally going to stay on target there and hit the person you're aiming at. And of course, if you, burst fire it here, you're going to be able to basically hit the target every shot you take. And so it's a pretty reliable weapon, pretty accurate. Obviously, pistols, probably want to switch to your primary if you're doing like really long range, pinpoint accurate stuff. But it can be fairly pinpoint accurate if you need it to be in a situation like that. And obviously, if you need it for mid to close range, it'll work just fine. Let's go into the shoot house here, do a little run over here, show you some, more up close practical uses of it, I guess. Okay, we're not gonna. I guess we're kicking this door down. Oh, there we go. As I've done in the other videos, the targets that are, just regular cardboard color, or, hostages or civilians, the targets that are painted black are considered, armed suspects or, hostiles. So that's how we're going to be going through this with. Let's open the door. Oh, probably should have reloaded there. Oh, there's a guy. See his feet. You probably wouldn't want to shoot just off the fact that you see some people's feet under the wall, just a little tip there. You probably want to make sure that it's actually a hostile. Obviously, they have the target pointed at it and everything, so in this scenario, but for other scenarios. Oh, I don't think I'm reloaded. Oh, there we go. I think I'm out of ammo, actually. That was inconvenient. Okay, well, I want to see. I think we gotta go through the firehouse. That's probably the fastest way to refuel on ammo. And honestly, we can skip to the hostage scenario because that's the last thing I really want or need to show about this. I guess we don't. But we'll just get some ammo and go back through the shoot house and go to the hostage simulation real quick because I do want to show the up close, accuracy and pinpoint accuracy there. So let's see if we can I don't see any ammo or anything, so if we just reload it maybe. Okay, yeah, cool. But yeah, I just wanted to show the up close and personal accuracy with this, and if you can put it on the spot of a target. I might as well go through and shoot the other targets now at this point though. Let's just run through real quick. Oh, friendly. Okay, oh, no. Hostile. Yeah, and you can put a lot of rounds on the target fairly quickly. It's not as, doesn't carry as much impact behind each bullet as, something else like the Magnum we'll get to soon does, but you can put more shots, obviously that's kind of how to balance it, Hostage situation, let's aim at the A, the iron sight, put it right on there basically. Didn't hit any of the hostage, just hit where I wanted it to hit. Even from as far as you can get with even seeing this dude, put it on the A, it's gonna go there, not hit the hostage. So again, that's for a lot of these pistols too, but again, it's obviously for the Glock as well. No special thing there, but close range accuracy, again, if you're in a situation like that, or you're in close quarter situations where you need to put a bullet on somebody like that and have good weapon control and everything, Glock 19 or a lot of other pistols are a very good choice. I like using the Glock 19. It's probably my top 3 secondaries to bring on missions so far in the game and my experiences with it. I really like how it handles. I like the, good accuracy and control I can have over it. I like that I've, it's a weapon I've actually used in real life, which is kind of a bias towards me and other people, but it doesn't apply to you. It's still kind of famous brand. And I like the rate of fire. Yes, per bullet or per bullet, you might need to put a little more into somebody, especially if they're wearing any body armor. But you have a pretty high rate of fire to make up for that, and you can put a lot of rounds downrange and have a decent ammo capacity for a pistol this size or a weapon of this size. So let's go on to the next one, the M45A1 with a .45 chamber, and a muzzle velocity of 253 millimeters a second. I can't remember. This gun may be small, but it packs a hard punch. So kind of going in, this is what it looks like here. Obviously just the one select fire mode. So obviously kind of going in a different direction with the pistol there. This packs a little bit bigger punch than the Glock we just covered. This is what it looks like in your hands. This is what the iron sights look like. I actually like the iron sights a decent bit. I think they're pretty solid. You can, especially if you take your time. Obviously, maybe if you're a little rushed, it's not ideal, but other than that, it's pretty good. This is recoil with me not trying to control it. Obviously, a little bigger kick than the Glock. It's got a decent amount of kick, which you have to take into consideration when using the weapon, especially without attachments. But if you're trying to control it and spray, if you're trying to spray with the pistol and control it, it's going to be a little harder to control. Let's get some more ammo. I'll make sure to do that when we go through the shoot house. But obviously, if you're trying to spray the mag at somebody, most of the shots will hit the target, but especially the last few, unless you really pull down there, it's probably going to be a little inaccurate and not something you want for good accuracy or something you need pinpoint accuracy for, like a hostage situation. You won't want to just start spraying rounds in general anyways. Obviously, if you burst fire it, or it's not burst mode, but just controlled burst, yeah, you're going to hit the target every time. So that's probably what I would recommend, unless you really just need to start spraying and then just drag down a little harder. As far as pinpoint accuracy and stuff like that, again, mid to close range, especially just one shot. You can really put this wherever you need to, and that goes for long range too, especially with a bigger caliber of this weapon. It can still be effective. Again, if it is long range, I would try to use your primary, especially if it's a rifle. But if you don't have that option or don't want to, then yeah, this is a fair replacement, I guess. But obviously, still good at close quarters and control aspect that you're looking for in your secondary, and a reliable one that packs a punch. So you know you have a reliable weapon if your first weapon runs out of ammo or something. Okay, shoot house. See the recoil there. I'm not trying that hard to control it, but it is what it is. Oh, that's a hostile. Again, you probably wouldn't know necessarily. I just saw the gun under the little area there. Oh well. That's still trying to spray it at them, just waste the mag. See, 5 out of 6 bullets hit the target, so I say that's fair, especially 3 in the head. One obviously went off course, so decent reliability there, I guess, but not something I consistently rely on and try to do. Okay, hostage. Oh, good. Let him go. Again, didn't harm the hostage at all. Aimed, around the A, and that's where the bullet went. Get pinpoint accuracy. Got more stopping power than Glock and other pistols. Solid pistol. And just for while we're walking back here, just to give you a little overview of the weapon. This is a solid secondary. Obviously not something I prefer personally, but it's definitely got its case and uses. Basically, what you're trading for here against other pistols, when this kind of specializes, I guess if you will, is it's got a little more, with the .45 chambered, weapon or pistol in this case. You've got a little more, stopping power than a lot of the other weapons, in the secondary tier. And I think the accuracy and control, or at least the accuracy, good still. You got a lot of stopping power behind, something for a secondary weapon. I think that's the pros, and the cons are you trade a little bit of rate of fire, and you're trading a little bit of handling of the weapon, especially if you're trying to spray this for some reason. That's the trade-offs, I would say. But overall, very solid choice if you want to go with this, and it's a pretty cool gun. So let's get to the unique gun, probably a top 3 gun of mine, just to bring, just because I kind of like it. It's kind of a cool weapon. The .357 Magnum Revolver. This is the largest pistol caliber available to the SWAT. High levels of stopping power and the fire rate makes it the best tool for justice. Okay, let's take this for a spin. Got single auto only with safe, but safe isn't something you can switch to. This is what it looks like in your hands. This is what's up. Those are the iron sights, kind of small, but does the job, I suppose. Obviously, more of a limited, magazine or cartridge. Obviously, a little less ammo per, God, I can't remember what a cartridge or something. I can't remember what the revolver casings are called, but just less bullets. Let's put it like that. But as you saw in the bio, this has more stopping power than basically any other secondary you can bring. So I think that's where it really excels. And if you need to put it on a dot, does it good too. You can put it wherever you need to, and it's gonna go there. One shot. And yeah, the rate of fire, obviously a lot slower than a lot of other pistols, which is a trade-off. But again, more stopping power and good accuracy trades off that you don't really need the same amount of bullets or rate of fire to even use and operate this weapon effectively or as effectively. It serves a different purpose than the other handguns but it serves a useful and good purpose for a lot of scenarios. The recoil, obviously, it's got a decent amount of kick per shot you take, and even when you're controlling it, it can be a little disorienting, but you can generally bring it back down by the time the next shot is ready to be fired, so generally not a big issue because the slower rate of fire actually helps you to be able to control it a little more. So I think the control is actually pretty fair on this. The one knock would be the rate of fire, but again, with the control, the stopping power, you don't really need the rate of fire or the ammo capacity of the other guns. As far as range goes, I mean, obviously it's a handgun. If you need long range, especially for accuracy, I would definitely go with a rifle, but it's serviceable if this is all you have, especially if you take your time and be careful with your shots. Obviously at close range, you know, you can put it on somebody and very reliably every shot's gonna hit the target if you know what you're doing with the weapon. So you know you can aim anywhere, it's gonna hit the target. Let's take this for a run through the shoot house. Shows some more kind of live action, you know, qualities of the weapon. And yeah, the revolver's also just got cool factor to it. I kind of like that there was a revolver. I'm a fan of these in game and in real life, so just for the cool aspect. So that's also something to consider, I guess. Obviously, you really only need 1 or 2 shots, especially if they're unarmored suspects. There's more back here. So the rate of fire, I mean, if you need to just unload into somebody, it's going to take you a second to unload the magazine into somebody, but you generally don't need to ever. Again, you put every bullet on them, and the stopping power makes it so you don't need many bullets to put on them in the first place. I barely made it onto the target. Hostage. Aim for the A. Obviously, you might not have as much time as this, so let's simulate a little more hectic. Still, no damage to the hostage. Put it where you know the iron sight says it's gonna go. Quality weapon, a lot of stopping power. So as we walk back to select the next weapon, just a little recap, I guess, because I've already stressed these points, but the Magnum, yeah, this excels at, you know, firepower. It's obviously got a, you know, big caliber here, so it's got a lot of stopping power. It's got pretty good handling and accuracy. The only knock I'd have on the gun is the rate of fire, but again, when you have the stopping power of this weapon, you generally don't need that many bullets going down range at somebody. So I feel like it's an acceptable trade-off. Overall, a very good weapon to bring and one of my favorites to bring. Let's go to the next one, which is the M9A1. A globally renowned handgun in the police world. Slick, heavy, and sharp. That's what it looks like in your hands. This is what it looks like propped up. That's what the iron sights look like, and it looks like in your hands aimed. And let's do a recoil test on it. This is me not controlling it at all. Maybe a little more kick than Glock, but I don't think per shot as bad as the revolver, but obviously a bigger fire rate, so kind of makes it a little worse and less controllable. This is me trying to control it. Obviously, could try it a little harder maybe, but and be a little better at it in general, but yeah. Generally, if you're spraying with this weapon, it's going to be a little hard to control your pinpoint accuracy, as it is with a lot of weapons, to be fair, and a lot of handguns. Range, again, like I've said for everything, if you're doing long range, especially with a, you know, where you need to be accurate, bring a rifle. And if this is all you have, I mean, I guess you can use it, but especially for pistols with calibers and not as much stopping power, like something that's not a Magnum or something, you're really taking your chances, especially if they're armored targets. That this isn't gonna get the job done accuracy or firepower wise. Again, though, if it's medium range or close range, very good, reliable, solid weapon to use. Let's make sure we have enough ammo here. Just gonna go where you want it. If you do a little burst like that, very controllable weapon. Let's do through the shoot house here. Show you this. Okay, let's do it. Same rule. Again, some of these bullets are left over, but I feel like these three are right here, generally where you're gonna want to be. That's not even trying to control it at all. It gives you a pretty good representation of the recoil per shot. Very controllable on a target. You're gonna hit it. A lot of civilians. Oh. Solid weapon. Oh. Breach. He's down. Hostage situation left. Aim for the air. Again, went where I wanted to, didn't damage the hostage, just do a little more fast. Oh, no. Okay, there you go. Again, didn't harm the hostage where I wanted it to. Success in my books right there. As we're walking back, let's do a little recap over the weapon. I feel like this is a kind of odd one to do. I don't know if it excels at anything more than other handguns. I feel like it's kind of a mid-range weapon, honestly. I don't think it's got any of the top-end products or features of the other ones we've done so far. I don't think it has the rate of fire of like something like a Glock. I don't think it has the stopping power of the last two we've done. As far as control, I mean, on par at best with the ones we've been doing. Accuracy and, long range capabilities, on par if not a little worse than some of the weapons, depending on what you're talking about. I feel like it's just a mid-range, kind of good at everything type of, handgun. Nothing wrong with it by any means. Still a solid choice to bring. Just if you need a little more specialization into something, probably not a choice you would want a weapon you'd want to go with. But if you want something that's average at best at everything, solid choice. Again, personally, it's not something I use that much, so I wouldn't recommend, or I wouldn't know in-game uses and experiences myself that much. But just from going through the shoot house and the shooting range and doing some research on it, here it doesn't seem to be a top-end weapon in my opinion, but overall solid. Very, average gun in my opinion. Let's skip the taser and go to the 57 USG, which is another one of my favorites. Probably in the top 3, maybe a number 3. I just kind of like the design of it, honestly, more than anything. That's why I occasionally bring it. And it's a semi-automatic pistol with low recoil and a high penetration capability. Which again doesn't hurt for why I brought it, Easy to control and has decent stopping power. This is what it looks like. This is what the iron sights look like. This is what recoil looks like not controlling it. As you can see, I just put an entire mag fairly quickly with this weapon and it barely budged at all. And this is what it looks like controlling it. Just look at this target, I guess. That's a whole mag, and all of those bullets went into that target and didn't move at all. Even when you're aiming at something like a head, you can pretty reliably hit the area without much movement. That's one of the main features of this gun is the recoil and control. It's just amazing. Which, part of the reason why I think it's a top 3 choice for me to bring on missions. is it just so accurate, reliable, easy to control. Got a high rate of fire that matches the Glock, and like put a lot of rounds down range very quickly. I think it matches, around the same as the Glock. And I'd say it has a little more stopping power than the Glock. I don't know for sure, but that's just how I get the feel for it. And I think it looks pretty nice too. It's a good weapon in that regards too. And as far as uses for it, as ranges, again, as I've said for every weapon, and we'll say for every handgun here, long range, especially if you need pinpoint accuracy or something, is this serviceable? Sure, but it lacks it doesn't match the accuracy and stopping power of a rifle at long range. Short ranges and medium range for control and as a backup weapon, even like a hostage situation like this. Absolutely, very good gun. Even to switch from your primary from if you don't even if you still have ammo on it, it's still a very solid choice for these situations, in my opinion. So let's get some ammo. Let's go to the shootout. See what we run through with it. Okay, I really like this weapon though. Top 3, choice for my loadouts usually, as I've said. Alright, let's go. Oh, what's behind this? I didn't even aim in on that one. Okay. That's 3 bullets at the A. Maybe the 3rd bullet here. These 2 obviously didn't harm them. This maybe caught his shoulder, but I feel like with these 2, he might already be dead anyways. If you just put 1 shot in though, 1 or 2, it's not gonna harm it. Even like a rush scenario, it's like, oh, 1 in, didn't comply. Still put it where you need to. Success in my books. That was probably just a user error with the close call there anyways, so not on the gun in my opinion. So overall, a little recap of the gun. This is one of my favorite guns, or secondary weapons in the game. I bring it with me on a lot of missions. I think it's got a nice design. I think it's very easy to use, especially if you're new to this type of game. I mean, I feel like this is a top-end gun, or secondary weapon. It's got great rate of fire, matching or if not beating the Glock. I think it's got probably the best control and accuracy, recoil and accuracy wise of any of the guns we've done so far, and really in the game. I think it's incredibly accurate and easy to control. I think it's top end towards that. It might not be top end compared to like a Magnum as far as stopping power, but you trade. I think that's the only thing that the Magnum and those guns have over this is a little bit more stopping power. But that being said, this has more stopping power than something like a Glock, and while it doesn't have as much as something like a Magnum, you trade a little bit of stopping power for accuracy, control, rate of fire, and coolness, kind of, I guess, if you're not a revolver guy. So I definitely like this a lot, and it's a very good choice for a secondary weapon. Let's go to the last one here, the USP-45, a .45 semi-automatic pistol used by police and military forces globally. Pretty cool looking weapon there. I just kind of like guns in general, so a lot of these look cool to me. So it looks like, the iron sights look like, shoot out a target. Obviously a little bit of kick there, jeez. I haven't really used this weapon much, so it kind of surprised me. Not controlling recoil. Jeez, that was some kick. Okay, Jesus. Not surprising me, but I mean, this thing kicks per shot, especially if you're trying to put a lot of bullets in range. You really need to pull back on this one, Jesus. Okay. Jesus. Okay, that is a little bit of user error there, I grant you, but Jesus, you need to really pull back on this one. Let's get some ammo and go through the shootouts with this one. Jeez. As you can see here, good amount of stopping power. Up there as top end stopping power, and maybe even pinpoint accuracy for like per bullet if you don't spray, but the control and recoil and spray fire accuracy is horrible compared to some of the other guns we previewed. Jeez. Okay, yeah, we missed some of those. Won't even bother, really. Alright, let's go. Jesus. Especially coming off the most controlled gun I think I've ever had. This is not a good weapon to go to from that last one. Alright, let's see what is done as the hostage. We'll take our time on this one. And I mean, no complaint. It's not hitting. It's passing the test. It's not hitting it. So pinpoint accuracy per shot, fine. Good stopping power, obviously. But let's do a little more rush scenario. Again, it didn't hit, or actually, it might have hit, but you can still control it decently well, I guess, in that scenario, if you take a little bit of time. But yeah, let's just do a quick recap of this last gun here. And I think you've kind of gotten my thoughts for it over the course of the overview, and that's this gun. Yeah, what it's got going for it, I guess, is it's got good stopping power, especially for a semi-automatic pistol, when it's not the Magnum. It's got solid accuracy if you're not, going crazy with putting bullets down range. But everything else, I feel like you get those two things, and you're just trading off everything else and you're not just trading them off. Some of the other things you trade off, but it's still solid or applicable. Like the Magnum's rate of fire, it's okay, it's not that bad, and you don't really need it. You trade off this, you get the stopping power and everything, but you trade it off for horrible control and recoil if you need to put more than 1 or 2 rounds at somebody. And I don't like the accuracy over time and the control and recoil on this weapon. I think there's just better options available in the game. But if you want to look and use it, yeah, solid weapon. If you use it in real life or something, it's kind of cool. Got a good amount of stopping power for a semi-automatic, and those are the pros. But everything else, I probably wouldn't use this gun unless you're really fixated on it. Then it's definitely solid enough to be serviceable and usable for sure, but definitely wouldn't be my top choice of even a semi-automatic pistol. So those are the overview and a little review, I guess, of the secondary weapons, the pistols and the revolver. Not in, the lethal weapons, not included in the taser. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully gave you a better feel for the secondary weapons and everything. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode.